I came home to find a stranger living in my cabin. The worst part, she thought she had every right to be there. She didn't break a window. She didn't pick the lock. Linda, our HOA president, had somehow gotten hold of a spare key and let herself straight into my cabin like it was a hotel she'd booked for the season. I own this cabin outright. Saved for 6 years. My name is on the deed. The mortgage is paid. And there is not a single document on this earth that gives anyone else access to it. But Linda, she had other ideas. I pulled up to my own driveway that Friday afternoon to find her SUV parked in my spot, her bags stacked on my porch, and completely relaxed inside like she was already settled in for the weekend. When I knocked on my door, she opened it with zero shame and said I reserved this weekend on the HOA calendar. You should have checked before driving all the way out here. There is no HOA calendar for private property. She made that up entirely in her head. She had created a system where she could claim my cabin whenever she felt like it, and somehow that was supposed to be legally binding. I stayed calm. I told her clearly this was private property and she needed to leave immediately. She crossed her arms and told me I was being unreasonable. She didn't move an inch. I gave her 20 minutes and called a non-emergency line. That's when Linda completely unraveled. Before officers even arrived, she dialed 911 claiming I was the one harassing her on my own property, that she had let herself into without permission. When officers arrived, I showed them my deed, my ID, and my full ownership paperwork. They turned to Linda and calmly explained that HOA rules carry zero authority over private property ownership, and she had no legal right to remain on the premises. She demanded they check the HOA bylaws. An officer actually had to explain slowly that no neighborhood committee overrides property law. Her face went from confident to crimson in about 30 seconds flat. She grabbed her bags, dragged her luggage down my porch steps, muttered the whole way to her car and drove off without a single apology. I've changed the locks that same evening and filed a formal trespassing complaint the following Monday. Linda is still the HOA president, but she has never, not once, made a contact with me since.